I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, or evening now, to our April 14th, 2025 HLPOA Board of Directors meeting. First, we will start with our announcements, and first up is Clear Creek Conservancy with Dwayne Kelly.
I really don't have anything unless somebody's got a question. Everything's running smooth.
How's your retirement?
Well, 1 month, but still moving.
Okay, then we'll move on to Floyd Township Fire Department with Jeff Brooks.
Jeff Brooks, Floyd Township Fire Department. For the month of March, we had 35 runs, which is an increase from 2024 from 23 runs to 35. That puts us for the first quarter of 2025 117 runs. We had 79 runs in the first quarter last year, so that's about almost a 50% increase in runs. The fire department, I've talked with Benny and also talked with our board. We discussed at the last board meeting. There's been a lot of discussion, just not knowing about the tornado sirens. I've located all 4 of them, and the protection district and the fire department. We've been paying the electric bill for them for years as it is. There was a question about who is responsible for maintenance and repairs, and we've cleared that up. We're just going to take care of all of it. So I know right now the one up by BP is not working. I did a preliminary test on it. I'm learning about sirens, so I get to go do a turn the button and make noise test now. That'll be cool. And I know the other 3 are working. One is here at the clubhouse, one at 500 East and US 36, and the other one is at 675 and 300 North. We'll be making sure all those are working. And also going to, I don't know if anybody noticed that the last tornadoes that came real close, everybody said they didn't hear sirens. That's because they weren't set off. We're going to have a discussion with the county. If there's tornadoes in the county, like Hendricks does, Marion County does, they all go off, not just, that way the dispatchers don't have to try to discern which way the tornado's going and which ones need to be set off. We'll just set them all off, and if it's sunny in your neck of the woods and there's no tornado, if we woke you up from your nap outside, I'm sorry. But another thing I want to make sure everybody's aware of, tornado sirens are designed to warn people outside to go inside. So if you're inside, you can't hear a tornado siren, that may not be a problem. But if you're outside, you can't hear it, you know what you're supposed to. That's when you let the fire department know, and we'll make sure we got to take care of it. They are tested first Friday of every month at 11 o'clock. Weather permitting, if inclement weather is in the area, they'll go to the second Friday of the month. And then if that's still inclement weather that way, they just don't do it and test it for the entire month. It'll be the next month.
Great, thank you very much.
Hey Jeff, we just had just for your information, we just had a brand new battery put in this one out here. So brand new.
Yeah, that's what I talked to Benny. He said that's what it took to fix that one. The one up by BP, the battery load tested good. So I'm going to do the button. The panel said SI test. Sorry, my balls aren't big enough to turn that on there without headphones on and they're not letting people know what's going on. But now I found out that's silent test, so I did that. And right now it's indicating it still could be a wiring problem. There was a couple of components loose inside there. One was a lightning suppressor, and those are pretty susceptible to lightning. So if that turns out to be the problem. If it's anything other than the drivers or the amplifiers in that board, all the electronic components are extinct. That's a pre-2001 siren, and Wayland no longer manufactures parts for it. So 1 or 2 more tests, and I'll find out if we're going to spend a lot of money or a little money. But the Fire Protection District is taking care of it.
We appreciate it, thank you very much. Okay, we're skipping Neighborhood Watch and move on to HLCS with Rick Miller, but he is not here. Is anybody presenting for him? Rick Miller is at the courthouse today for the rezoning meeting of the property up north. I don't know if anybody heard about the
The potential of
The-
one, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, then on to Hellneck with Donna McGinley.
First, I want to thank everybody who donated candy and also came out to volunteer to help fill the Easter eggs for the Easter egg hunt. It was a phenomenal day. The weather was perfect, and we had probably the best turnout we've ever had. And the kids had a great time. It was just fun. But I want to thank the community for their support too, because without the community, we wouldn't be able to have all these wonderful activities. But it was just a wonderful day. The next thing we have coming up is the Wine Fest on April 26th. At the Activity Center. At the time, it is sold out. We have a capacity of 75 attendees due to the size of the Activity Center. But if anybody wants to make reservations, you can still do so. We'll put you on a waiting list in case somebody cancels out. And at 6, if you want to get there a little bit early, the event starts at 7 p.m. on April 26th. But we're going to have a wine tasting expert come in. It's a local gentleman, Matt Spielich from the lake. Who's a wine distributor, and he's going to give us classes on how to taste wine. So, but we're going to do that before the event starts, so that he's got our complete attention, because we are interested in learning that. It's a skill everybody should know. The garage sale then is next, coming up on May 1st and 3rd. We are taking items in at the downstairs during business hours. But we're closing it a little bit, 8:30 to 4 p.m., Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'll also be here Sunday night around 6:30 to set up for the garage sale, and if you want to drop off any items that Sunday evening, I'll be here. And if that doesn't meet your needs, just call me and I'll arrange a time to meet you downstairs. And because we don't want items sitting outside, we also don't want the office to have to move things inside. This is an opportunity for the community to participate, but like I said, and I just want to mention also that Hellneck shares this event with the Charlie Beard, the Heritage Lake Charlie Beard Memorial Scholarship Fund. So every penny we make is going towards charity, and especially the scholarship fund out here. So we appreciate your support in that. And we still need volunteers for that as well. You can call me if you want to sign up. I've got a schedule. We're trying to have coverage every day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, to get all the pricing done and have somebody downstairs to take items in so we don't disturb the office too much. Then we've also scheduled, this has just been really busy, a meet and greet. We had one a couple of months ago, and it was so successful that we've decided, we've had a lot of requests to do it again. And that's going to be on May 17th at the Activity Center, and you can call Nancy Burcham to make reservations. We haven't advertised it much yet, but it'll be in the highlights in the May issue as well, and we'll be putting it on Facebook soon. It is not a singles event. It's for people who just want to come out and meet people that they don't know, or get to know more people in the neighborhood. And we'll have some representatives. Rick Miller will be there from the board, and I'll be there representing some of the groups we have for the activities that we have out here, and several others. So it's a really wonderful evening and very casual, and like I said, no children please, just adults. But it is we have a kind of a round robin, almost like a singles event, but it's not, just so that people can just sit and talk and chat for a few minutes, and then we'll have open time for everybody just to get to know each other a little bit better after the event. So, and then we'll be working on the rest of the year after we get through some of these imminent details coming up. So, and if anybody's interested in joining Hellneck, I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I volunteered for this committee. It's absolutely marvelous, and the people are very dedicated to doing activities in the community. And if you have any ideas for activities that you'd like us, we are still exploring exercise out here and trying to get some maybe yoga and exercise classes started. But again, we've been really busy with some of these other activities, so we are working on that as well. But if there's anybody that wants to join, just give me a call and I'll let you know when our next meeting is, and we'd love to have you, sit in and experience what it's like to really work hard for the community and enjoy every minute of it. So, thank you.
Thank you, Donna, we appreciate you. Next, we have the security call report with the Sheriff's Department.
Tom Sutherland, Chief Deputy, Putnam County Sheriff's Office. We were up here 41 times.
In the month of March, we conducted 4 traffic stops. Our largest number of calls for the month was lockouts and public assistance. We did 9 of those here at the lake, so
Great.
any questions?
Thank you very much. Also, on that note, want to bring to the the neighborhood, bring your attention to the fact that we now have on our security staff an individual who is well-versed in fish identification and all rules regarding fishing. So we brought Tyler Land on board to help the security staff in enforcing our fishing rules. He's a lot better versed at that than some of us, some of the other people on the security staff in identifying if people have caught fish that are out of regs or different fish species that are not supposed to be caught, like red ear. He's here today. I don't know if he wants to say a little spiel about what you've encountered in your first week.
Yeah, I can. It was the first weekend. So we had a tournament Sunday, and I pull up to the ramp, and there's a young man fishing out there, and I thought, all right, this is a good time to start. I walk up there, talk to him, tell him who I am, what I'm starting to do. A guy that said he's been fishing out here for 10 plus years, never gets stopped. He had a stringer full of red ear, crappie. He didn't even know what he had. He told me he had bluegill, and I said, may I see him? So I looked at him, I said, where's your POA card? And he said, what's a POA card? I was like, do what? He's like, I've been fishing out here for 10 plus years and never got questioned. Like, awesome. So I told him what was going on. He was not allowed to fish out here, and I made him release the fish. It wasn't, probably 2 hours later, I go back by the marina, and there's 3 poles out there, right there where the little building is. And again, I put my boat next to the docks right there and walk up there. I said, hey, may I see your guys' POA cards? And again, what's a POA card? We got a fishing license. I was like, no, you have to have a POA card to fish out here. You don't necessarily have to have a fishing license. It's private. Again, they said, nope, I've been fishing out here forever. They had a couple fish on a stringer, and I, again, waited there, made them leave, threw the fish back. A couple hours go by, and I go to Lincoln Park. Happens again. So that's just a little bit of what I went through. But I think in the long run, people's gonna get the hint. The one at the Lincoln Park, they actually did live out here, but they were renters, and they didn't have access. I pulled them up on our app that Rick Miller made us, because he tried to give me this pool. He had it, he just didn't have it on. Well, he didn't have his dues paid. He wasn't even on the lot. It was his girlfriend's lot. And so that's just a little bit of what's going on. But I'm making my rounds. I'm gonna start this week making rounds every evening and every morning to see what's going on. I think we'll get a hold of everything. So
Very cool.
We appreciate it.
yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Do you feel safe? I mean, like, is anyone gonna like pull out a gun or something on you and say, shut up? How's that work?
I mean,
I mean, you're keeping pretty low key, I guess, when you're talking about it.
yeah, I mean, I try to be respectful, and I mean, if someone's gonna be in that manner, I guess we'll deal with it then, but, I mean, I got my permit and everything, I have a gun in my truck at all times for what's going on in today's world, but, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna walk up there on no one with a weapon, period.
Right.
What was the outcome of that tournament again?
Do what?
What was the outcome of that tournament this weekend?
A lot of fish were caught, a lot of,
And who won it?
I did.
Okay. Congrats.
The biggest fish was 6 pounds, and I broke the Heritage Lake record with 24.3.
Wow.
Congratulations.
But there was 2, there was actually Brian Alexander, he came in with 21 something that day, or Sunday, and that was the second biggest bag until I went in.
What was the water cap?
It was anywhere from 50 to 53.
Great job.
I have a question in regards to what he is doing. So if he encounters an individual that doesn't have permission to be fishing, doesn't have the card, they're trespassing.
Correct.
Does he have the authority to trespass them if they refuse to leave?
Yes, he'll be
Call
on
us?
our list. We have a list. We have a little bit of a protocol that we developed last year to deal with that, as far as who is authorized to trespass someone. Technically, any HOA member could do it, but with some of the language change in the
Right.
statute, we have like an authorized group of people that can formally trespass someone that you would then enforce.
Okay. So I guess my advice to you is if you encounter someone that is trespassing, you've told them to leave, they refuse, and they become belligerent, that's when you're dialing 911 and getting getting us up here. I don't want to put you in any dangerous situation to get yourself hurt.
That's great. Appreciate it. Thank you. Now we are on to the presentation of agenda. And do I have a motion to accept?
I present a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Passed, unanimous. Now we have presentation of minutes. First, we have the March 10th board meeting. Do I have a-
Motion to accept.
All in favor? Unanimous. Then the March 31st operations meeting.
Motion to accept.
All in favor? Great. Now we are on to the treasurer's report with AJ. That
I have Chris Daigle, if you're watching.
Thank
Here it
you.
is. Okay. For the month of March, total income was $144,678. Total expenses were $897. With a net income loss of $2,219, with $119,729 of that being to aquatic controls for our lake treatment plan. So it was just a big chunk all at once. Year-to-date total revenue, $397,376. And we have a net income in the positive of $25,606. At the end of March, our short-term cash position, $567,560. We also have CDs. We've added some money to some CDs that we've had kind of sitting, and we said, well, let's make some percentage. Well, I should say, Ken thought of a good idea to make a little bit extra money on that. We have $92,293 in the CDs, with a total cash available to us at $659,853.
Thank you.
Just to let you know that we pay that aquatic control up front. They give us a 3% discount for paying it up front, and it's about $3,500.
For the year.
Yep.
Now we are on to the board committee reports, with our first being A&E with Linda McFerrin.
We do not have a report out today. We'll have a double report out next month.
We'll be looking forward to it.
It's a lot.
Yes. And on to the campground with Rick Stevens.
First camp meeting is this Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Summer's coming. And cleanup committee with Nina Stebbins.
On behalf of Sarah Lackner, I do want to thank the 15 residents that showed up this past Saturday for the trash pickup day around Heritage Drive. The cleanup committee supplied trash bags, and again, we had 15 residents that showed up and picked up trash for a couple hours around Heritage Drive. Picked up quite a bit. Upcoming event, as Donna noted, the yard sale is coming up, and do note that right after the yard sale, we always try to plan the clean sweep and tox drop. That will be May 10th, Saturday, May 10th. So on Saturday, May 10th, from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. will be the accepted tox drop. So if you have toxic materials that you need to bring in, have to have them there before 11 a.m. And then the clean sweep event, which is where they'll take all the other items, will run from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And that is a correction. The highlights printed that they would run until 2 p.m. But we do want to make the community aware that that event ends at 1 p.m. on May 10th. That is all.
Fantastic. On to the government committee with Rick Olson.
Rick Olson, 51 Mill Springs. I spoke with Clint Maddox, the highway director. He filled me in on a little bit more on the repairs that are being planned for this year. First of all, I guess they call it the horseshoe. I don't know how many people know about that. It's County Road 450 North, starting at Heritage Drive at exit 51, and then going east to 875, south to 375 north, and then west to County Road 800. This will be a chip and seal treatment performed by the county, so they will be closing the road during that time. And he said it could be as early as May, which I'll be surprised if it's that soon. Usually it's closer to the end of the season, but well, their program is smaller this year, so maybe that'll be the case. The other one is the road that goes out to Coatesville. It's County Road 800, which is also probably more people know about Canyon Church Road. From Heritage Drive, exit 54, south to 350 north, west to 775 east, south to 250 north, west to 750 east, and then south to the railroad tracks. I don't know if you know that road by the railroad tracks. It seems to me they should continue to the south a little bit because it's horrible. I'll talk to Clint again and see and suggest that and see if that's a possibility. That one will be funded by the NDOT Community Crossings Grant. So that will consist of an overlay instead of a chip and seal because that road, the whole road is getting pretty bad. He said that's probably, we're probably looking at late summer. And usually they can keep that open, but that road's pretty narrow, so I'm not sure that's going to be possible. And then the last one is west of the lake, it's on County Road 575 east between 300 north and 500 north, which is the campground road. About a mile and a quarter west of Heritage Drive. So that will also be an overlay and also with the Community Crossings Grant. So again, probably late summer. He also mentioned that they try to get up here about every other week to do patching. And it sounds like the squeaky wheel gets the grease because he said we get some calls. So if anybody has a lot of potholes on the roads, I suggest calling the Putnam County Highway Department and just making a suggestion that they try to take care of that politely.
It will work
Yeah.
if you call.
Yeah, that's what he said. So, any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Now on to the Lake Committee, but I don't see Mary.
Anyone else?
Anyone from the Lake Committee? Oh yeah, that's you.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So we had our first meeting last Wednesday. They are fixing the floating buoys, reattaching the loose ones and repositioning them. The budget for the Lake Committee, Planning Committee right now is in a plus 39,487.88. They said the fishing tournaments have been really good. Bass fishing has been excellent. I don't know if Tyler would agree. He's nodding his head. Good. Merchandise, the new merchandise is coming, and it's 50% off the old merchandise to get that sold. The Feast and Ski on Saturday, July 26th. We need a lot of donors to help out with that. Also, we're letting the donors attend so they can see where their funds are going.
Great.
That's about it.
If I might add, with the buoys, we just put a new prop on our maintenance pontoon today, and we'll hopefully get the pontoon in the water tomorrow or Wednesday, so we can, I know some buoys need to be adjusted and picked up.
And the wind's really kicking up too, so I don't know how that's gonna go, but yeah.
Long-term planning with Jeff Blades.
Rick's here, Rick's the chairperson, he's gonna...
All right, Rick.
I'll tell you, Rick Olson, still 51 Mill Springs. We had an organizational meeting last month, and one of the first things we talked about is when future meetings will be. We're going to continue to meet on the third Wednesday of the month, but at 7 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. I've alerted Rick to that, so I noticed that he did have that in the highlights. So it'll be the third Wednesday at 7 o'clock, which the next one is this Wednesday. We do it here in the courtroom there. Let's see, one of the things that we're talking about is the strategic plan. We're reviewing the strategic plan that was put out in 2014. Kind of going through that, see what's been done, how we need to add to that, whether we're gonna suggest another strategic plan, which it was pretty expensive, so I'm not sure that we need to or should, but we're gonna talk about that. But then, if we don't have somebody else do it, we're gonna kind of do something similar ourselves. So that's, we're talking about potential funding sources. A lot of this was pretty quick because, like I said, it's an organizational meeting. We had some homework to do, reading through the plans and whatnot. So that's all I have for now.
Thank you. Siltation with Chris Schubert.
Yeah, Chris Schubert, 266 Mill Springs. Siltation Committee met. Dwayne announced his retirement. He retired. We are currently without leadership, so hopefully we'll take care of that next meeting.
Great. No report for election committee. So on to the manager's report with Mr. Ken Roselle.
All right. A couple weeks ago, we placed the lake under yellow flag conditions, and I'd just like to thank everybody for their cooperation. I know we had a fishing tournament that weekend, that everything must have went well. I received no complaints of boats going fast, so thank you very much for that. The Activity Center indoor and outdoor restroom project should wrap up this week. Benny is given the task to facilitate this project with the maintenance team, and I promise you that you will be impressed when you see this project. Those outdoor and indoor bathrooms look amazing. Just like the Marina and Lincoln Park restroom locations, the clubhouse now will have outdoor restrooms available throughout the season, and they will not interfere with any times that the building is being rented. So we will now have outdoor and indoor restrooms there. Some good financial news. The court has awarded the POA $8,369 from a Gettysburg property for the lack of assessment payments, being a nuisance in the community, late fees, and attorney fees. The POA has also been expected payment this week from another piece of property in Patriots Landing of $6,107 for late assessments, late fees, and attorney fees. So we should be getting that money. I'd like to remind everybody that when you choose to attend and support as a resident for the Heritage Lake committees during various activities that go on around here, a reminder that the money that is raised goes right back into the community. So I'd like to thank the Lake Committee. They have donated up to $11,750 for us to purchase a new sand cleaner machine to clean the beaches. So on behalf of the POA, I'd like to thank them for their continued financial support. The Psalms Haven financial numbers through March, through 3 months of this year, the POA has been paid $11,466 compared to last year, which was $10,718. This is an increase of $748 over last year. And finally, we just spoke about the lake treatment. When those dates come out, once we have paid that, they will give us a schedule for the treatment throughout the summer. So as soon as they send me those lake treatment dates, just watch for them. We'll post them on our website and our Facebook page.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now on to the assistant manager's report with Benny Roten.
All right, so for the month of March, it was, I'll say, a relatively slow month when it comes to the number of letters that went out. We had sent out 6. However, there was a lot of items that were cleaned up and finished, up to 22 different, I'll say, line items in which we have properties that were cleaned, which was one of the highest months we've had. The main things that we're seeing are still continue to be stuff stacked on the side of the garage or in front of the garage. A lot of algae now that we've hit nicer months. I've been alerting residents of that, hey, get the algae off the home, and providing them ample time and then also ample good weather to do that. The canvas sheds that we've been seeing, and dogs. So dogs have been happening a lot recently with the nice weather. I guess they've just been out. So a lot of people have been helping out with that. Next, I would say, with all the wind damage and everything we've had over the past few weeks, everybody's seen there's a ton of roof repair signs in everybody's yards. And so those are technically against the rules. And so later this week, we'll be driving around and cleaning those up, removing them. I want to give everybody a heads up because I know contractors pay money for these things. And so if they want to collect them themselves, that would be absolutely fantastic. Otherwise, we'll be getting those. There's a lot of roofing signs. There's a lot of mowing and lawn care type of things. And we'll be treating everybody equally and removing them and disposing of them after an amount of time if they're not claimed. Next thing is, so out of all the letters that happened in March, my favorite one was one in a hilarious turn of events. One was sent to me. So someone hit me with the old Uno reverse card, took a look at my house, and sent me a letter about it. And, it's a funny joke in my opinion, but at the same time, I think it was good, right? It allows, I've always said, sending letters is the least favorite part of my job, and I know nobody likes to receive them. I get that. And it was a good opportunity for me to practice what I preach, or at least see how the shoe fit. And I think there are different options and how to react to such a letter. I tried to do a little bit of, I received it, reflected on it, and ultimately cleaned it up. It really wasn't that big of a deal, and I hope that other people see it that way too going forward. I know they're not fun to receive, but the truth of the matter was I had a couple things I needed to clean up. I cleaned it up, and I just thought I'd share because it was still, it's a serious matter, but humorous in my opinion. That's it for me.
Thank you.
You put your name on it.
Yeah, they said it anonymously, but
Bummer.
I sign them.
Now we're on to old business A, which is the covenant ballot. So to update everyone in the community, we are in the midst of the voting process with the potential covenant change with our vote. We have planned ahead that we are going to have another open house, question and answer type session on April 26th here in the clubhouse again, and we'll do that from the same time frame, 10 o'clock until nobody's here or until the wine fest starts. Same day, we'll just walk over. So that will be
Have our own.
right. So any questions anybody has, if anybody wasn't able to attend the last one, get the word out. I know there were a lot of posts on Facebook that people didn't even know that we were doing it last time. I don't know really how they didn't know, but it's been announced everywhere. So we're announcing this one again, and we'll post it on Facebook and place it every other location it can be, so everyone in the community has the opportunity to attend and ask questions. And just as a reminder, that's just a general open house type forum. That will be, anybody can pop in at any time, refresh the conversation. You don't have to come here at any specific time. You can ask us the same question over and over and over again, because it seems like everybody has kind of the same basics they want to ask. So come, ask your questions, drop off your ballot if you haven't already, and we can move on from there. Then second, a reminder that the deadline for voting is May 1st, so get your votes in by May 1st. Then we have a date set for the ballot counting. That we are going to conduct here on May 5th at 6 p.m. The process for that, just generally, it's going to be open to the public. We are going to have our videographer here to record it. We are going to have our attorney here so he can certify the vote and assure that everything's done properly. We are also going to have a county trustee present as a third party who's uninterested to assist in the ballot counting. So there's gonna be disinterested parties here to help conduct the ballot counting. We do have some other volunteers in the community that are going to come be here and assist, but other than that, we'll have the process pretty laid out, but I would recommend or encourage people to attend if they're interested in seeing what we have or how it's going to be conducted, but then also we will have a recording of it. So that way it's documented in how it was conducted. I think that's it for the covenant ballot, so we are on to new business. And first is new business A, 356 Mill Springs variance with Linda McFerrin.
Hello, we have a variance for property 355, 56, and 57. They applied for a permit for a 4-foot high split rail fence for the front yard. This was denied based off of our rule 419.3. Fences are allowed in backyard and side yards only, so therefore we denied his permit or his request. So he's asked for a variance for the board to look to see if we would like to approve his fence. For those in the audience, you can see his front yard. If you see the fence right here, he put the fence up to basically keep the grandchildren in. So
This is the fence that's already constructed, correct?
correct.
Yeah, we have no backyard is why I'm sorry if I'm not speaking. We don't have a backyard is the reason we have it in the fence. Our lot's back up to the campground, so as soon as you go 20 feet out our back door, it's a 25, 50-foot drop. So it's not safe for my grandkids to play back there today. So I put split rail by mistake. We had a new porch put on, then I put split rail thinking they were legal to do. So then I come
Hold
in here
on
and
one second, let us have a process to get
Okay.
through. We just asked for a motion to sign, right? Anything else, Linda?
That's it.
Any further discussion?
Any discussion from the board?
So the fence was put up without a permit or
Correct.
anything at all, right? It wasn't
Correct.
put up like, he asked and said no and then put it up anyway, but just put it up by accident? I would love to have it.
Who discovered it?
Benny, did you discover
It
this?
was brought to our attention by a member of the A&E committee.
Any other discussion?
I guess my only thought is like a split rail fence, I mean, that's more of like keeping horses in than
Right.
kids, cause, you know, kids are little and go right underneath it.
That's what I see.
I don't see it as a containment, I see it as a really nice aesthetic. You know, gives it a very farmhousey look,
Right.
but I mean, my daughter's 9, she would slide right underneath that.
Well, I agree. It's just kind of a visual reminder. I mean,
Yeah.
I got great grandkids, grandkids, and
Sure.
they're from every age, but it's really just kind of a visual reminder when they're on a hot wheel or something like that. That's your borderline.
My concerns are just setting a precedent with
Yeah.
building something before it's permitted. And then also, is there actually some type of hardship or difficulty or need by the property owner to have this in place?
Yeah, it's kind of by mistake. That was my fault when we had the porch done. And then when it was brought to my attention, I come in and applied for the permit. So it wasn't done intentionally to piss anybody off. I got letters from all the neighbors. They have no problem with it. As you can see by the pictures, there's nobody across the street.
Can you
from
say
me
your
at all.
name?
My name is Gary McBride,
And what's your address?
356.
And you are the homeowner that's
Yes, we own all
requesting the
three
variance?
lots, yeah. But there's nobody across the road from us, there's no homes at all around us. There's a big blue house on the corner, that's the only way you can know that street's there, but
So you have very low traffic then?
we have very, well, there's only four people that live on the road.
Is this on a cul-de-sac? or
It's on a court, yes. And we're the last road before the campground turnoff, so everybody's property is background up to the campground, so nobody there actually has much of a backyard.
I have a question. Do you even have a fence in the back where it's scary and steep?
No, the only thing we have is, we have a garden back there and we have a pond back there, which also makes it kind of bad. We have to have the garden because my wife has Crohn's, so she can't eat processed food. We have to grow her all of her own food. Plus, we have beehives and what little bit of property we do have that's level back there. But there's also a 1/4 acre pond back there also, so.
But you didn't want to put a fence in the back to keep the kids from rolling down the hill?
Well, we try to keep them out there, to be honest with you. I mean, it never comes, I mean, that land just deteriorates so bad. I'm afraid if I fence it in a year or so, I'm gonna be leaning everything that way. I mean, we used to have steps down there, but everything just deteriorates and trees fall so fast up there. It's,
Has this recently been put up, or has it been up for a while?
well, I put it up, I think we put it up at the end of the last year, to be honest with you. We had our front porch put on, we had all that done and to move our activities towards the front of the house. And then I misread the rules. I had eye surgery, so I'm not stupid. I'm not trying to be, offensive to anybody, but I just misread the rules when I put a fence up, and then I'm just trying to make it right by it.
Was the porch permitted?
Yeah, the porch.
Yes, the porch was permitted, yes.
So,
Okay.
when the timeline, the weather went out, March, early March? Or
Yeah, I think
something
it
like
was,
that.
yes.
And Mr. McBride did immediately come in to try to rectify it, and I talked with the A&E, and since the beginning, he said, I just thought this was a kind of in conjunction with.
What contractor was it?
I don't know, who was the contractor for the porch and
I
or
couldn't even tell you,
fence?
to be honest with you right now. I mean, we had everything permitted and everything like that, but I couldn't tell you his name, to be honest with you.
I can find
Mike
out.
was his first name. He works out of Rockville, Indiana. He does a lot of lake stuff out there, but Mike was his first name spelled. And, he's doing a house right down the road from us now, so.
I was just curious if it was one of our heavy hitters.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, he hardly does any work there.
Oh, boy.
Anybody else have any discussion?
Are there any other houses that have fences in the front yard?
Yes, there are. There are,
I can show you 6 of them right now.
yeah, I was gonna say a handful-ish. Some of them were permitted, but this was in the 90s. And other ones are not, and they are in the process of being notified as well.
I mean, to me, it helps the neighborhood look. I mean, I know everybody's not, I mean, I can see doing the main drive having problems with fences, but we're so far off the beaten drive over there on Valley Forge that nobody even can see, maybe Ken can probably see when it comes to the stop sign or something like that, but other than that, I mean, not too many people can even see the fence, to be honest with you.
The unfortunate part is if we approve one for one, we have to approve for all, whether you're on the main drive or not.
Well,
That's the unfortunate part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to have a fence in my front yard, because my backyard is not conducive to doing that either, but I mean, I live right across the street from Ken, so I don't think that's gonna work. But yeah, I mean, that's,
I mean, if it was offensive to somebody, I can understand, or if it was out of taste or something like that. And, I can understand, I just thought we'd do an individual, I mean, one rule for everybody, it's not right, but I think we have to have some variance around here too.
well, I mean, one rule for everybody kind of is how it should work.
Well, I know, but there are other homes around here. I mean, I can take you around here all day.
Sure, I mean, yeah.
And they look nice and everything. I mean, it's just the way you have to keep your property and stuff like that. But it's not being, the fence is not up there just to be, just to be for my personal satisfaction. It's serving a purpose also. But, and I've been out here 27 years, and it's not like I just moved out here to pop up a fence real fast. So.
Sure.
Can you define what kind of hardship or difficulty you would have if you didn't have this fence?
No, just the grandkids from finding their front running to the street. I mean, we also have like a little 4-foot ditch in our front yard also. I set the fence 21 feet back from the road, so it wouldn't be a hindrance to anybody driving down the road or any service to anything far as power lines or anything like that. But my main goal is just to keep my grandkids on the boundary. I mean, I'm sorry now, but we're just up to the multi kids.
How deep does the easement go?
I think it's
30,
25 or 30.
Yeah, 30 feet from the road.
He's 21 feet back.
Yeah, I'm back past.
Are you 21 feet from the road or the property line?
From the road, I mean, from the property line in the front, not the road, but 21 feet from there. I'm back past the power lines and everything else. I went back past far enough because they come out and do the trimming of the power lines and everything like that. So I kept all that right away open there.
So you said obviously this serves as a visual to the kids, be like, hey, there's your limit.
Yes.
Right. But you said it also wasn't heavily trafficked?
Well, we don't have like 4 people live on the road, but we do have a couple of young teenagers that they live all the way at the end. And as bad as our road is, I mean, it's hard enough to walk it, let alone drive it. They do like to fly past down through there. And we have a few younger people now that are in our neighborhood.
Does anyone have a motion?
I'll make a motion to deny.
Second.
All in favor of denying the variance requested at 358 or 356 Mill Springs? All opposed to denying the motion?
I'll just be the one opposed for in his
Okay.
favor.
So the variance is denied. I'll make a comment on that. I don't think visually there's anything wrong with it. I think it's all about setting a precedent in the community. I don't think it fits the rule that you have any alleged difficulty or hardship. And I think the big thing is setting a precedent with putting up a fence or any kind of building without a permit first, and then also something that is substantially against the rules. We've, in other instances, denied even like the wall between the 2 houses that was visually appealing, but just flatly against the rules. Anything else? All right, we'll move on to new business B, the small tractor request with Ken Roselle.
Okay, I'll make this very quick. I haven't got anything solidified yet. I think I made the correction with everybody that we have $7,200 left in the budget for a new piece of equipment. We're looking for a small tractor, excuse me, for the PTO driven for the beach cleaner that Lake Committee is gonna purchase for us. So we just need something small that we can get around from beach to beach and to be able to get on the beach and still have some turning radius that's not too big. So we're also looking for a tractor with turf tires, so that's kinda not tractor tires, so we're just still in the looking process. So when we locate something, we'll bring it back to you.
Great. So that would move to old business B. Do we need a second vote?
No.
Okay. So that's off, so that would be old business A.
Yeah.
Then on to new business C, the attorney for collections with Benny.
All right, so we are currently using a collections agency called KSN. And they've kind of been brought along. Previously, they were Tanner and Associates that KSN acquired after the death of the main primary there at Tanner and Associates. Since I've been here, I've heard a lot of issues that we've had with KSN. I would say the number one has been follow-up and communication. There's been many instances that have been recorded in which we've reached out to them a number of times and nothing has come to pass. And then, I've compiled like a big list of, hey, here are all the times we've reached out to you guys, or Jolene or the ladies at the office, what gives, we haven't heard anything. And then we get information, it trickles in, and then it dies down again. I would say the most egregious issue, or one of, I don't even want to say the most, it happens so frequently, was, we started the process of looking to find a local attorney that's either in Greencastle or Danville, somewhere where they're close. And while we were talking with one, we were kind of discussing the cases and everything that we typically see, and they said, well, hey, I see just here in a few days on Monday that you have a court date with a property owner. We had no idea. Not one clue. We were never notified by KSN. We just happened to show up and to see how it would play out, and during that time we were actually able to close the matter. And if we had not been notified, it would not have happened. And this has been a long, a matter that had been a long time coming. So we have found a company. They are Oliver and Klein. They're based out of Danville, Indiana. And they do HOA, POA type work. They also keep the litigation themselves in-house. It's not subbed out, which is something that we've found a lot of, I'll say the competitors or other options do. They are on the same price point that we would have with KSN on an hourly or fee basis. And so what we're asking is for a vote from the board to approve the change from KSN over to Oliver and Klein. Any matter that's currently with KSN would stay with KSN until it's completed, and then all new matters from this point forward would be sent to Oliver and Klein.
Do you have a motion?
I make a motion.
Second? All in favor? All opposed? Any? No? Motion passes unanimously.
Fantastic.
Then on to, well, that'll move to old business B. And on to the open forum.
I just don't have the clean water team. I would want to remind folks in attendance or who might be watching online to watch the highlights for some reminders about best practices in maintaining lake quality moving forward.
Thank you.
Hey Phil, when do you want to do the lake treatment this year? What month?
I'm flexible. We kind of try to do it at different times and places at different, so maybe a little earlier in the season this year might be a good idea.
Okay.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
Yeah, Tom Novak, 25 Mill Springs. I just have two items. The first item happens to do with a blood drive. The blood drive is coming up on June 3rd. It'll be right here in the clubhouse between 1 and 6 p.m. I just want to remind everybody that they could register online at www.redcrossblood, that's all one word, .org. Or if you're not comfortable using the website, you could call Marianne Novak at area code 765-386-2077. And I just encourage everybody to show up. That's a great way not only to help our community, but to help other people. Any questions? And the second item I'd like to bring up, also there will be a visual on this second item, so you can copy down the dates. I'll go through the dates, but the visual will let you copy them down, and also it'll appear in the May highlights. This happens to be something that our sophomore, junior, and senior children can take advantage of. This is the Heritage Lake Charlie Beard Memorial Scholarship. Applications can be done online at the Putnam County Community Foundation. If you need help with that online application, you can certainly call the number I'll give you. But I just want to remind everybody that they could give 1-2 hours of volunteerism. And here's some opportunities, just some opportunities. On May 1st through the 3rd, we're going to have the spring garage sale. On May 10th, we're going to have the spring topics cleanup day. On June 22nd, the Heritage Lake Heartland Homemakers Breakfast will be held. They'd love some nice young support. July 26th, Feast and Ski and Fun. They're always looking for help. August 9th, Shred Event. That's a good time that you get rid of all the documents that you think are confidential. If they're shredded up for you. September 4th through the 6th is a community garage sale again. And as we heard, they're always looking for a few hours of volunteerism. That's a great way for our young people to get involved with the community. September 13th, Clean Sweep. October 25th, Trunk or Treat. Those are just some of the opportunities. And if you'd like to volunteer, any of the young people out there, or parents who want to motivate their young people to volunteer in the community, they could call Mary Ann Novak for more information. And the phone number again is 765-386-2077. And we'd love to see some of our young people come out there and help their neighbors. Any questions?
How much did you say that scholarship was for?
Typically, we offer 2 scholarships a year, and in the past, we've given $1,000 for each scholarship.
Great.
I know that's not a stunning amount, but it certainly could help with books and other accessories.
That's very nice.
Absolutely.
Any other questions?
No?
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, I think we're all set. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
For the minutes?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Thanks, everybody, for coming. We have a real short